It was interesting when CNN had an issue with one of their reporters. Not only did they not fire her, they put up with they unearthed these tweets of the homophobic tweets that she put out. Caitlin Collins, the log cabin Republicans pushed it out that shows that she called people some pretty bad things on Twitter. And what did they do? They promoted her, Larry, to chief White House correspondent for CNN.
By the way, and listen, this will never end, and that's the problem. It's like this whole eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. We end up blind and gumming our food, right? Here's what the solution is. Let's all have more speech, more freedom, more liberty. Let the public decide who they want to listen to and who they want to view. Yeah. But until that day, Sean, CNN is the chief offender of trying to intimidate cable companies, trying to intimidate radio stations to try to fire people, and they create this news cycle. It's not news until CNN decides they want to make it news, and Caitlin Collins should suffer the same fate. All right, guys, sorry we had to keep company a little short today. Look forward to having you both back because there is a lot to get to. Yes, thank you. Love you, Stacey Washington. All right. Well, I know Larry will probably agree. Tom Brady had a big night last night in the Super Bowl, but there was one high-profile viewer who might be regretting his pick for who would win the game. We're going to show you who that was next.
Closed captioning brought to you by Pray.com, the #1 app for daily prayer and bedtime Bible stories.
Pray.com's bedtime Bible stories calm your mind and ease your spirit. Download Pray.com to get the #1 app for prayer and sleep.
The manufacturer of Roundup has set aside over $10 billion for victims of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
If you or a loved one used Roundup and then were diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, call the Goldwater Law Firm. You may be entitled to substantial compensation.
Call right now and find out in less than 2 minutes if you may qualify. You may be entitled to a large out-of-court settlement. Call 1-800-434-1717. 1-800-434-1717.
One of my favorite supplements is Cunol Turmeric. Turmeric helps with healthy joints and inflammation support. Unlike regular turmeric supplements, Cunol's superior absorption helps me get the full benefits of turmeric. Cunol is the turmeric brand I trust.
Hi folks, Joe Namath here, and if you're on Medicare, this is important. You're now entitled to eliminate copays and get dental care, dentures, eyeglasses, prescription coverage, in-home aids, unlimited transportation, and home-delivered meals, all at no additional cost. Plus, your zip code may have coverage with the Give Back benefit that adds money back to your Social Security check every month.
I called to get dental, transportation, meals, and the Give Back benefit.
With this virus situation, I called to get everything I'm entitled to. I couldn't believe I was missing out on so many benefits.
With the uncertainty of the virus, you need to get everything you're entitled to. Millions of people have trusted the Medicare Coverage Helpline. You can too. Call now. It's free.
Call 1-800-608-9900. That's 1-800-608-9900 now.
Look, this isn't my first rodeo. And let me tell you something. I wouldn't be here if I thought reverse mortgages took advantage of any American senior. Or worse, that it was some way to take your home. It's just a loan designed for older homeowners, and it's helped over 1 million Americans. A reverse mortgage loan isn't some kind of trick to take your home. It's a loan, like any other. Big difference is how you pay it back.
Find out how reverse mortgages really work with AAG's free no-obligation reverse mortgage guide. Eliminate monthly mortgage payments, pay bills, medical costs, and more. Call now and get your free info kit. Call 800-660-4078.
Other mortgages are paid each month, but with a reverse mortgage, you can pay whatever you can when it works for you. Or you can wait and pay it off in one lump sum when you leave your home.
Discover the option that's best for you. Call today and find out more in AAG's free no-obligation reverse mortgage loan guide. Access tax-free cash and stay in the home you love.
You've probably been investing in your home for years, making monthly mortgage payments, doing the right thing. And it's become your family's heart and soul. Well, that investment can give you tax-free cash just when you need it.
Learn how homeowners are strategically using a reverse mortgage loan to cover expenses, pay for health care, preserve your portfolio, and so much more.
Look, reverse mortgages aren't for everyone, but I think I've been around long enough to know what's what. I'm proud to be a part of AAG. I trust them. I think you can too.
Trust AAG for the best reverse mortgage solutions. Call 800-660-4078 so you can
retire better.
Each year, Americans waste over $21 billion by overpaying on car insurance. Enter the Zebra.
Another car insurance ad?
No, the Zebra compares them all and shows you who can actually save you money. Compare car insurance for free at thezebra.com.
All right, Sean, that Super Bowl last night, did you watch?
I did. It's Brady and Gronk. I couldn't help it.
Yeah, you have to watch Tom Brady. You know, but now he is the winningest quarterback in NFL history. But apparently, our president didn't think that he was going to do so well and wasn't quite rooting for him. Take a listen.
Yeah.
Which quarterback would you rather have throw to you? Tom Brady or Mahomes?
Obviously, Brady's a great quarterback. Mahomes seems like he's got a lot of potential. And so I'd probably take a shot with the young guy that didn't expect as much from.
I thought that was an odd analysis, right? You're the old guy in the race. You might want to say, I'm not just saying that, like, you want to be like, hey, we want to go with the guy with experience. I thought it was a really odd angle to go at that from. Considering that Biden's whole play is I'm the guy that's been around the block, I know what it takes. And you got Brady, who clearly knows how to win a big game. It's sort of a fascinating look inside the way he thinks. But
yeah, I think he was trying to do a play to the young folks.
I know. It was definitely because I'm with Mahomes. He's the cool guy now,
he
right?
won last year. I mean, the funny thing was he wasn't going with the underdog though, because Tom Brady actually was.
I know, that's what made it great.
In this, at least the Buccaneers were the underdogs in this play.
So. I do want to make a little correction though. On Friday during the quiz, we made a mistake. All the excitement, apologies. We meant to say that the Buccaneers hadn't been to the Super Bowl in 18 years, and I think I said Chiefs. My apologies. Thank you for those folks who keep us honest. Don't worry, I appreciate it. I got the message. Won't happen again. But tomorrow we've got a huge show in store, as we've been talking about. The second impeachment trial in the Senate starts tomorrow. We're going to break it all down.
The question was about who you would pick if you wanted to start a franchise going forward. Well, I mean, you got one guy who's 40 and 100 and another guy who's 25 who just won the Super Bowl last year. Yes, they outplayed the Chiefs this time around. Let's bring it in for real, kids. Hello, everybody. Here comes me. There I am. This is Greg Kelly Reports on Newsmax. Greg Kelly, let's listen in. This is what we're due for. We're here to see the MTG. Let's see what's going on.
Taylor Greene, Republican of Georgia, will be our guest in just a little bit. She has no seniority. She just lost all of her committee assignments, but she is the most powerful person on Capitol Hill in many ways. Stand by for that interview.
No, she is not.
I'm looking forward to it.
No, there it is.
All right, the Super Bowl is yesterday.
There is no way in any way whatsoever that MTG is the most powerful person on Capitol Hill. But I can't think of one. If you guys can think of a way she's the most powerful, hold on. They're talking about how Uncle Joe here has lost it.
Is this social distancing or what? This is more than social distancing. This is Emperor Joe Biden in the palace. Who social distances like that?
Okay.
Quite frankly, nobody. Not even Joe Biden.
I do.
Remembers when he won.
I wouldn't even let her in my house. So there you go.
With his family when they flew in from all over the country, hugging and kissing. I understand the hugging and kissing, but that's pretty tight in these days of COVID. November 2020? Yeah, COVID was a thing back then. All right, back to the interview. Joe Biden has a lot on his plate, of course.
Okay.
COVID and these vaccines. Can he lean on...
Did anybody watch the interview from the Super Bowl? I didn't actually watch it. Should we watch it? We'll watch it.
On the manufacturers to, get some more medication out there. Listen to the question, listen to the answer.
You're President of the United States, Commander-in-Chief.
Yeah.
Can you do something in terms of going to Moderna, going to Pfizer, saying we need more production?
Yes, I think.
Yes, I think.
Right.
You didn't get the I'm in charge kind of feeling. Now, whether you like Donald Trump or you didn't like Donald Trump, guess what? He was in charge, and he wouldn't be, I think.
And he turned down hundreds of millions of doses of the virus. So good job being in charge there, buddy. By the way, what did Joe Biden say right after that? I guarantee you it's something along the lines of, we're getting more virus and we're getting more vaccine. We're doing it now.
I think I can call Moderna. I think I can call Pfizer. He was calling them up hundreds of times a day, pushing him to get that vaccine. And you know what? It really, really worked. Hey, real quick.
He was not calling up Pfizer. Pfizer had no cooperation in terms of development of the vaccine with the U.S. government. They went with Germany. Go ahead.
About that social distancing, it was such a display. Emperor Joe Biden. What do they do for Donald Trump? Same network, 60 Minutes.
Why is he an emperor? He's just sitting in a chair in a big empty room. How is that being an emperor?
That's pretty close, right? That's pretty intimate. And Leslie Stahl, senior correspondent over there at CBS, was anything
That's probably
if
about
not
12
the
feet.
mask police, right? Going right up there. Anyway, this mask
Right, and she's just taken a rapid test. Go on.
stuff is getting to me. I still wear a mask. We got to wear masks, but they're playing games with it, right? Right.
Dude, you wear a mask. Just wear a mask. That's fine.
So impeachment, I believe, begins tomorrow, or the trial. They
It
already
does.
impeached President Trump.
We'll be broadcasting the impeachment hearings live, starting at or about 1 a.m. ET, Eastern Time tomorrow. So tune in for that.
We know it's a joke. We know he's not responsible for what happened on Capitol Hill.
Fact check it. It's not a joke. Fact check. President Trump also walked out of that 60 Minutes interview and didn't do the walk along that they always do when the president has talked to 60 Minutes. So
he specifically said,
so that's leadership right there. Joe Biden's like, I think I can call up the vaccine makers. And Trump's like, I don't want to talk to it. I think we're done. I think we're good. We're done here. We're done.
march peacefully and patriotically. We all heard that, right? By the way, if he really did break the law.
Did I say 1 a.m.? Sorry, I was watching the Australian Open. I'm like in Australian time right now. So we'll begin broadcasting tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I didn't say a.m., did I? What I did, I guess, because a couple of you said 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And in Australia, of course, that is Easter Sunday.
They could charge him in D.C. court. They could, but he didn't, so they can't, all right? The thing is a joke. They've been lying about so much, including, by the way, that 5 people died on January 6th, 2021. It's not true.
What?
Only 1 person died on that day. You
Oh,
know
okay.
who it was? The unarmed woman, Ashley Babbitt. Unarmed woman shot and killed
The
by
terrorist.
Capitol Police.
The
We've
terrorist.
heard very, very little about that case. And you know what?
Right, well, she
That
was a
bothers me.
terrorist, and she
so,
was-
a quick preview of
She was breaking into the House chamber. There were members of Congress within eyeshot of her. There was a police officer with his gun raised. It's on the video.
some of the evidence we are going to see this week.
And 5 people died as a result of that day. Actually, 7 people died, including 3 police officers, as a result of that day.
First, let's start with some of what the Trump team will present, because figurative language, the president used it, and so do Democrats.
You're in the arena, you got to be ready to take a punch. You got to be ready to throw a punch.
That's my call to action here. Please don't just come here today and then.
Yeah, and you know how after Nancy Pelosi said that, a whole bunch of people went and punched each other? Oh, wait, that didn't happen.
Go home, go to the Hill today.
Yeah?
Get up and please get up in the face of some Congress people.
You see anybody from
That's not violence, that's having a conversation.
that cabinet in a restaurant?
Yeah?
Folks, one thing I want to point out, and
I can only pause for so long, it skips ahead. Anyway.
it's worth reading. Time magazine, yeah, the fake news, did something interesting. Some call it a confession, a wild profile of what Democrats and the left did to engineer their victory in November. They got working on it very, very early. Some say they're bragging about all the unfair stuff they did. There are a couple of quotes in the piece. Now, the piece is, you know, they're pro-Democrat, but it's interesting. Let's go through it. A couple of interesting quotes. You tell me. America's decentralized election system could not be rigged in one fell swoop. That presented an opportunity to shore it up. And then they go through the details. It's almost like they were rigging it themselves. It's a fascinating piece. Go on, please.
Yeah.
They needed to pay for postcards letting people know they could vote absentee, or in some states, to mail ballots to every voter.
Okay.
By the way, did you know that was happening? Mail ballots to every voter? That's not how you conduct elections, by the way. Jimmy Carter warned us about this.
In some states, it actually is. In Oregon, they've been doing it for 20 years. In Washington, for 12 to 16, depending on how you look at it. In Colorado, they do it. In red state Utah, they do it.
With enough money. I thought that COVID relief should have been for COVID relief. But who stepped in? Facebook. Take a look at this. I knew they were doing this, but to see it all summarized in one place, private philanthropy stepped into the breach. An assortment of foundations contributed tens of millions in election administration funding. The Chan Zuckerberg Initiative chipped in $300 million.
Okay, so companies and individuals and foundations were chipping in money to ensure a fair and free election? Okay.
Do we have? In the end, nearly half the electorate cast ballots by mail in 2020. Practically a revolution in how people vote. A revolution. About a quarter voted early in person. Only a quarter of voters cast their ballots in the traditional way.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think we've heard the last of what the heck happened on November
We had an
3rd
election and Trump lost.
To it. A lot of unfair stuff. A lot of strange stuff.
I don't know where the thinking comes from that for some reason an absentee ballot, which we've been doing since before the Civil War, doesn't count. Wow.
Green, Republican,
there we
and
go.
Georgia, when we come back.
No, not when we... I don't want you to come back. I want you to do it now. Can we go live? Are we live? Are we... Can I go back? Can I go forward? We're stuck. They're just going to have the commercials. Hey, everybody. I am your Heavenly Father. This is the live stream. I'm not even going to play the opening because we're already here. I let you guys chat a little bit early. You people wanted to chat, so you're chatting. If you want to get into the chat room over there, all you have to do is just chat on whatever format you're watching this, be that Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Periscope, which I'm not even sure is here anymore, YouTube. Do all of that. If you want to help out the broadcast, before I even get to that, tune in tomorrow at 1 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. No, it's when the impeachment trial starts in the Senate. It will be sometime after 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. I almost said Western Pacific Time, to be more Pacific, and we'll cover it. We'll be watching it and making the occasional comment, but mostly just watching and doing the analysis. There will be lots of comments over in the chat room tomorrow. The best place to chat, although feel free to chat wherever you are, the best place to chat is on the YouTube. Go to youtube.com/KevinlyFather. And if you are not already a follower, a subscriber on YouTube, and you want to get alerts when we go live, let me show you how to do that in case you are not familiar with it. I'm going to pull up a window here. Let me pull up a YouTube window. The links for YouTube, the broadcast, are already up on my page. I will also be posting them on my Twitter page. Let's see. Can I pull that up? I think I can. I think I can. Here you go. Lots of people watching on YouTube right now. Most of you are already subscribers. If you're not a subscriber on YouTube, this is what you do. Let me pause this. There we go. So you find yourself a YouTube page. Let's just say you go here and now you're on the YouTube. Let's find something that I'm not subscribed for. I am subscribed for that. There we go. What you do is you hit the little subscribed here. I'll show you how. So you subscribe to a channel. After you hit subscribe, I'm going to unsubscribe here. So once you subscribe to the channel, a little bell appears. If you hit that bell, you can set it to alert you every time that they broadcast. Or you can set it to personalize so you only want to see certain broadcasts. I've never done that. I just say, give me all. And then your phone, you turn on your notifications on your phone for YouTube, and good things happen in your life. So that's how you do that. Let me bring back the main feed here. How's everyone today? Hi, Marcy. Hi, Shelley. Hi, Dr. Howard. Hey, Kimchi. Hey, Lizzie Dog. Everybody's here today. I'm excited. It's going to be a big day tomorrow. Here they come with the broadcast. Here comes Marjorie Taylor Greene. Let's see if I can get some volume for us. Here it is. Dun, dun.
Well, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene is brand new to Congress. She has no seniority. She just got there about a month ago.
Yep.
She has no important committee assignments. In fact, she has no committee assignments.
She's been stripped of her
But in my
committees.
opinion, she is probably the most powerful person on Capitol Hill right now in many ways. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, Republican of Georgia, welcome back to Newsmax. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Greg. I'm glad to be on your show tonight.
Thanks so much. Listen, folks have heard your name a million times, but I don't think a lot of them know the first thing about you. So I'd like to actually start with, if you could please, tell us what happened to you in the 11th grade.
In the 11th grade at South Forsyth High School, when I was 16 years old, that was the year that Joe Biden passed the gun-free school zones. It used to be that kids used to drive to school. They might have their hunting rifle in the back of their truck. Principals kept a gun in their office. Coaches might keep a gun in their office. Kids were protected at school. But Joe Biden passed gun-free school zones, and we were, for the first time, unprotected. One of my very upset schoolmates brought 3 guns to school in a duffel bag, carried them on the school bus, brought them into his first period class, pulled out 1 gun, and went to take over the classroom. The coach in the classroom knocked him to the floor, knocking away his weapon, but he was able to reach into his bag, retrieving a second gun, fired the weapon, and proceeded to take over the classroom, and our entire school went on lockdown. At 16 years old, I found out very quickly what it's like to be completely innocent, completely terrified, and there was no good guy with a gun. There was no one there but our very upset schoolmate that came to school to kill other students that day. That's a fear that I don't want any child to ever have. That's a fear that my own children have had, going to school over the years in gun-free school zones. We protect our members of Congress with a big border wall and 30,000 National Guardsmen. We need to protect our kids at school the exact same way.
Just about everywhere you go, you cite the number 62 million. 62 million. Can you tell us, please, what the significance of that number is?
Yes, 62 million are the people that should be living their lives today, just like we are. But
she's going to talk about abortion. So here's the deal with the school non-shooting that she was in. A student held 2 classrooms hostage. She was in neither of those 2 classrooms. There's no verification that she was at school that day, but the incident did happen back in 1990 when she was in the 11th grade at Forsyth County High School. The rest of the students were not on lockdown for 6 hours. The rest of the students were evacuated and sent home on buses. So she did not spend 6 hours under lockdown there. That's a lie.
that people had signed, risking themselves, perjuring themselves with their signatures. And we were going through the objection with Arizona. When people attacked the Capitol, we were trapped inside. We were put on lockdown, and I made a video and put it out on my social media asking people to stop and not to do anything like this. That they should be having a peaceful protest, just like President Trump asked them to do. It was terrifying. It was just like that day when I was in 11th grade, one of the scariest days of my life. And I'm so grateful to our Capitol Police and everyone that came in and risked their lives to protect us.
You know, a lot of us were frustrated, by the way, for many reasons, with the more than frustrated, outraged by the riots. But one of the things that it did, it shut down what a lot of us wanted to see happen, those objections raised and debated in Congress. You wrapped up a press conference the other day in an interesting way. By the way, I want to emphasize you took plenty of questions from the media, answered all their questions, essentially.
No,
you
she
wrapped
did
things
not.
up this way. I thought it was very
She did
powerful.
not
Please
answer all the questions.
I have said it. You know, here's the thing. When you want to keep telling the same story over and over, but you don't want to tell the truth, that's your problem. And that's how we end press conferences.
That's her answering all the questions, with everyone trailing after her shouting questions. That's how you answer all the questions.
It was powerful for a lot of reasons. One of them, about 50 reporters are following you. You mentioned you're going to have some time on your hands right now because you don't have committee assignments. How do you intend, and by the way, I think this could...
that was not 50 reporters.
...spend that time. How will your future be different now that for the time being you're not going to have significant or any committee assignments?
Well, I got to tell you something, Greg. I'm someone that has worked hard my entire life. I've created businesses, and I've made one business very successful over the past 20 years. You never want to give someone like me free time with a lot of time on my hands to do the work that I think needs to be done. So I'll be spending all of my free time that would have been wasted on committees, because here's the real truth. Republicans have no voice. They have no say. They have no power on these committees.
Republicans have no power.
So going forward, I will be working very hard to shape the Republican Party, push this party to the right, and hold them accountable. I'll also be communicating with a lot of great patriots all over the country, and I'm very excited to get to work on that.
So I mentioned earlier that everybody has heard your name a lot. Very few people know specifics, and we've been told things about you. So I'd actually like to ask you two questions. I am genuinely curious of the answer. The other day on the on the floor of the House, you said that 9/11 happened. We agree that 9/11 happened. Do you believe the government, as I do, that Al-Qaeda was responsible, that the attack was planned by Osama bin Laden and Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and was executed by 19 hijackers?
Absolutely. Everyone knows that. It's radical Islam. Those people you just named are responsible for the attack on 9/11. Radical Islam is still a threat today, and it's something that America needs to take very seriously.
The other thing, because this was not brought up on the House floor, and forgive me, but there was the horrible school shooting about 90 minutes outside of New York City, Sandy Hook, back in 2012. 27, mostly children, were killed. Do you believe, as I do, that law enforcement, when they told us, they were telling the truth, that Adam Lanza, a very troubled 20-year-old young man, was solely responsible for the violence that day?
Of course he is. Sandy Hook is another one of the school shootings that should have never happened. And if children were protected at school the same way members of Congress make sure they're protected with good guys with guns, then no child would ever be shot and killed in school. And then I'll go a step further. I think it's wrong that these parents are brought out and paraded across the media and used for political gain like they have against me, unfortunately. I think it's...
the parents are doing this of their own volition.
And there's the heartbreak that they had. They have to go through it again. When
the parents are choosing to do this for themselves so that we don't have school shootings anymore. 420, blaze on.
Really, we should be taking care of these parents, and we should be legislating and making sure that we're protecting children at school.
Why did you go into politics in the first place? What drove you? What was your inspiration, if you will?
The reason why I got involved and decided to run for Congress is I figured out very quickly that no matter how many times I posted on Facebook and complained about things and asked questions about interesting information that I had looked up, nothing would change. And after watching our politicians fail us for decades to the point where we're now nearing $30 trillion in debt, our borders are wide open, our young men and women may be again sent off to foreign wars, our education system is failing and now training our children in woke education policies. Biological males are now entering our girls' sports, and we're still killing babies in the womb and now denying gender that God created us male and female.
At schools?
Tired of it, and I realize nothing will ever change. These people with their campaign promises will just continue to run for office again the next cycle. I'm a very regular American. I talk like a regular person. I've lived a wonderful normal American life. And I decided that if people like me don't get involved and get in there and do the hard work to make sure that our country is protected, our freedoms are protected, and that our children's futures are protected, then we're going to lose the country that we love. And we are losing it right now. And nothing is going to change that unless more people like me get very serious about running for Congress. And I know there are many of you out there that are probably smarter than I am, more experienced than I am, and I would love to see you join me.
You said one thing, you said it twice actually, on the floor of the House and also outside the Capitol, something about people of faith who are lukewarm. Lukewarm. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you meant?
Yes, of course. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to talk about my faith. I'm a big believer in Jesus. God gave us his one and only son who died on a cross so that our sins can be forgiven. And because of that, that is a sacrifice none of us are deserving of. And that's why we should never be lukewarm about our faith. You see, if the church in this country was doing the real work, there wouldn't be hungry people on the streets. There wouldn't be babies aborted in the womb. And then every foster child or orphan would have a home. And then more than that, we wouldn't be having people representing us in Congress that decade after decade, they cling to power, but do nothing but destroy our country. It's time for the church to wake up and stop just thinking that their job is to just go to church 1 hour a day, but it's actually to step up and boldly declare your faith, share the gospel, and then truly live it and be the hands and feet of Jesus.
So separation,
I'm
church,
sorry.
state.
I have to fact check you. I caught you in a doozy.
Oh yeah.
You said a little while ago that you're just a regular person, and I just don't think that's the case. You're absolutely extraordinary, and
judges,
very impressive to
it's not a fact
watch
check.
you, what you're doing, and I wish you luck and I wish you safety. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, many thanks.
Thank you, Greg.
All right, all the best.
All right.
We'll be right back.
Okay. Okay, so here's what happened, and this is an actual article written that day while the high school was still being held by a gunman. This is Cumming, Georgia. This is South Forsyth High School, September 6, 1990. A 17-year-old school student armed with a shotgun and pistol seized hostages at South Forsyth Middle School Thursday, demanding that authorities provide him with candy, coke, and transportation, officials said. The suspect, identified by school officials as Randy Addis, took over a classroom at 8:25 a.m., a Forsyth County Sheriff dispatcher said. Addis eventually freed all but 5 boys and 1 girl. And the 1 girl stayed of her own accord. And it sounds like the kids from the article here, they didn't believe that he was actually going to shoot anybody, but this was before sort of America had school shootings on a regular basis. This is back in 1990. Now, I don't remember if she just said it here, and I can't rewind, so maybe you guys can help me out, or if she said it in the interview the other day where she had her press conference. She has claimed that she was on lockdown in the school for 6 hours. This is an article written during the school day. Students milled around in a parking lot at the opposite end of the school from where milled around, which is weird. So different in 1990. Wow. Students milled around a parking lot at the opposite end of the school from where the hostages were while waiting for their parents to pick them up. Shadburn, with the school official, said all students had been cleared from the school except for Addis and the 6 hostages. Marjorie Taylor Greene was not amongst the 6 hostages. She was not on lockdown for 6 hours. She's just making that up. Terrible incident, obviously harrowing for everyone involved. 1 girl apparently volunteered to stay as a hostage. All the other students cleared out, but Marjorie Taylor Greene went through it. She went through it. And then, of course, pestered and stalked David Hogg. Am I endorsing school shootings? No, I am not. Well, the judges actually agree with me on something. Hey, thank you very much for the super hearts. Whoever sent those, was that Kim? I cannot see now because it's just above my... Yeah, it is. Kimchi, thank you very much for the super hearts. Okay, quick broadcast today. I just wanted to share that interview with you guys. So there you go. There's Marjorie Taylor Greene making stuff up. And there are the facts. This is from a UPI article from the day. And you can find this on the web if you do a little bit of searching around. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution also has an article from that day with similar results. But this is an article written over the UPI, which is like the AP, from that day, during that day. And at this point, when the article was written, the hostage situation wasn't even over. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, if she attended school that day, because it hasn't been established by a spokesperson for the school district, they don't know if she was there or not. If she was there, she had already been evacuated. This is during the school day. They did mention that several parents were unable to find their students among the crowd, and this parents collapsed from heat exhaustion in the 90-degree weather. So perhaps one of her parents collapsed from heat exhaustion. In which case, harrowing. I can understand how she would want to prevent global warming. But the best part of the interview was that she said that Republicans are basically powerless in the House. And that's absolutely true. Why? Because elections have consequences. Stephanie B says, thanks for doing this, Kevin. Looking forward to tomorrow for more than one reason. I also get to see my daughter for the first time in a year. Woo! I've been seeing, I gotta say, too much of your daughter recently. She will not leave. Dr. House says, Kevin Lee, father, Jumchi sent you a super heart. I saw that already, and it was kimchi. It wasn't Jumchi. Unless you guys see him as Jumchi, I don't even know. But thank you very much for letting me know. If you'd like to contribute to the broadcast, you can't do Super Chat anymore. Why? Because YouTube has demonetized me. Because I am harmful. And I need to spend 30 days thinking about that. So I'm in the penalty box for now. If you'd like to send me money, do it at PayPal. Or do it at Venmo. I've got a bunch of work to do tonight to try and get all of my little stickers and stuff ready. So I'm going to sign off, guys. I have a bunch of stuff to do. I am working on the credits as we speak. I'll prove it to you. I will prove it. Look at that. See? Those are some credits right there for y'all. So I am working on the credits as we speak. I got some other stuff to do. And then tomorrow, we're getting impeached tomorrow. So join us tomorrow at 1 p.m. a.m. Eastern Standard Daylight Mountain Time for the impeachment trial. It's already on my YouTube page, and I think after this broadcast ends, it will show as upcoming. Here, I'll send you guys the link so you can put a safety thing there on your, I don't know. Here, I'll just do it. Day 1 of impeachment trial. Here's a shareable link. Can I do it on the YouTubes? I think I can. Here it comes on YouTube. Oh, you know what? I can do it over this, and it should populate to all the other... yeah, I think it does. So there we go. And it did not populate into YouTube. I will put it on YouTube as well. There's the link for tomorrow. Congratulations on Joanna on being first. And we're done. Good job, producer Joanna. You just missed an interview with Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't know how interesting it was. Should she go back and watch it, guys? Should producer Joanna go back and watch the interview? It's not going to help me any. I'm demonetized. But producer Joanna does so much for the show. So by just telling me to take off the glasses when I do call to action. Thank you so much for the leftover hearts. There's a song there. The Queen of Leftover Hearts. I'm guessing Sheryl Crow probably did it at some point. And if not, they should. By the way, Kevin Lee Daughter's been writing some songs. And the other day, a published musician, I don't know if she'd be cool with me telling you who it is, but he's a good kid. He took it and took some of her lyrics and put it into song form and sang it. And she's got the video of it. And it's really cool. Also, the lyrics are kind of dark. I feel like I've basically raised a little Alanis Morissette. I mean, you play catch with him on a daily basis, and this is what you get. So, I was all set to start at 4 o'clock and got sucked into the tennis. Yes, Joanna's watching the tennis, and that's why I've been watching some of the tennis too. There's a couple Canadians in the tennis, and in a little while, I'm going to be watching a little Oilers hockey too. It's being played right now, and instead of watching it, I'm here with you people. That's how important you are to me, but we have to watch NewsMax live. So tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern Time, p.m., we will be watching the impeachment hearings. Until then, here are some closing credits that have not been updated. And if you stay tuned after the credits, we will be having discussions of diets and weight loss.
Kevin, thanks for that.
I've been trying to keep track of my weight. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to talk about it now. I'll do it on the, but Kevin Lee's daughter did get mad at me this morning because I told people my weight, and she said other people will feel badly about my weight. It's like, I don't want to know how much anybody else weighs. I was just sharing that information, but she said what I have to do is say not how much I weigh, but how much weight I've lost or gained. So, yesterday during the Super Bowl, I gained 0.4 pounds. That's what I'm allowed to do from now on. I don't know. No, I didn't update the credits, but I am working on it. Jeez, this is what happens. Joanna shows up and then expects the whole show to work over again. There, see, I'm actually working on them. That's After Effects. Those are the credits. And that is not your credit. I don't have to do anything to adjust your credit because you already have the largest font. And I don't care how much anybody else weighs. You never ask about a young lady's weight. So that's good. And everybody I hope everyone's comfortable with who they are. And I have a great weight loss joke, but Kevin Lee's daughter doesn't let me tell it. But it's pretty darn funny. Okay, guys, that's it for the broadcast. Speaking of weight loss, I got to go get some salads. Bye.